warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, how's your life? I hope all of you in good condition. Amin. Okay, my name is Anisatul. I'm the sixth semester in English department YIN 2. Today, I will explain about how the way of tutorial to input data to SPSS. Those are, the first one is correlation, the second one is independent sample t-test, and the third one is dependent sample t-test or paired sample t-test, pre-test and post-test. Okay, from the first, correlation. The basic concept of correlation, those are, the first one, correlation aims to determine the level of closeness of correlation between variables expressed by correlation coefficient or R. It means that the correlations are carried to find out whether the variable x has an effect on variable y, or to determine the level of closeness of relationship between the variables, whether it is moderate, close, or perfect category. And the second one, the correlation between variable x and variable y can be positive and negative. For make it clear, let's go to the tutorial. Okay, before we go to SPSS, I have made the data in Microsoft Excel that consists of 15 respondents, whether in X and Y variable. For the first step, to input the data, we have copy all of the data and paste it into SPSS. Next, go on to variable view. In the first column of name, we can change to X. On the second column of names, we can change to Y. And in the first column of label, we can change to prestasi guru. And in the second column, we can change to stress kerja as like this picture. Then we go to data view as like in the picture. We must click analyze, correlate, bivariate. In order to, a dialog box will appear, and we move the x and y variable to variables box. In the correlation coefficient, check percent. On test of significance, check totaled. And finally, check flag significant correlation. Then click OK. Then a dialog, the result will appear like this. And pay attention to box correlations. From it, we can know the correlation between two variables, whether it is positive or negative. The percent correlation of prestasi guru is positive 0,425, same as of percent correlation of stress kerja, that is positive 0,425. In conclusion, the significant total of prestasi guru is 0,114, same as the significant total of stress kerja, that is 0,114. It means that if the significant total is greater than 0,05, means there is no significant relationship between
X variable or stres kerja and Y variable or prestasi guru.
The second point is independent sample t-test. The purpose of independent sample t-test is to compare the average of two groups that are not related to each other. For make it clear, let's go on to the tutorial. For the first step, I have prepared the data in Microsoft Excel and I also have passed it into SPSS application and then click Analyze, Compare Mirrors, Independent Sample T-Test on the top menu as shown in the picture. You will be presented with the Independent Samples T-Test dialog box as shown in the picture. After that, the next step, transfer the dependent variable cholesterol into the test variable box and transfer the independent variable treatment into the grouping variable box by highlighting the relevant variables and pressing the SPSS right arrow buttons. You will end up with the following screen. Then you need to define the groups or treatments. Click on the Define Options button. You will be presented with the Define Groups dialog box as shown in the picture. Enter the number 1 into the Group First box and enter the number 2 into the Group Second box. And remember that we labeled the diet treatment group as the first group and the exercise treatment group as the second group. After that, click the Continue button. If you need to change the confidence level limits or change how to include cases, click the Options button and you will be presented with the following as like in the picture. And then click the Continue button. You will be returned to the Independent Sample T-Test dialog box. And after that, click OK. The result option will be appear like in this picture. Okay, from it we can know the significant difference. Because the significant total is less than 0,05, that is 0,02. In order to, we can see that those people who undertook the exercise trial had lower cholesterol levels at the end of the program than those who underwent a calorie-controlled diet. Let's go on to the third point about dependent sample t-test or paired sample t-test, pre-test and post-test. The purpose of this test is to distinguish the difference between two paired samples with assumption that the sample data is normally distributed. Here, I have a study cases about a teachers want to know there is the effect or not of using answer gallery learning strategy on learning outcomes in Japanese language subject and the 5th grade students of MI Alpha 3. Furthermore, for make it clear, let's check it out to the tutorial. I have a data in Microsoft Excel, pre-test and post-test. For the first step, we must copy all of the data, whether pre-test and post-test, and pass it to SPSS. Open the SPSS worksheet, okay? Then click Variable View. In the name of section, type pre-test and post-test. In the decimal section, change it to 0 because student learning scores are in the form of whole numbers, not decimal fraction. Okay. In the label section, select scale. Meanwhile, for the other columns, just let SPSS automatically. No need change as like in the picture. Then click Data View or press Ctrl+T on laptop keyboard. The next tab, click the Analyze menu. Then select Compares Means. Okay. And then click Paired Sample t-test menu. Understand? After the steps are done correctly, a dialog box will appear with the name Paired Sample t-test. Because here we will test the comparison between the learning outcomes in pre-test and post-test. Then click the mouse on the data pre-test. Okay. Then click the Available button on the pre-test data to enter the pre-test data to right box or paired variables. Do the same way on the data post-test. After, a dialog box will appear like this. Then click Options. In the confidence interval percentage, write 95 means we use 95% confidence level or 5% significance or 0,05. Then click Continue. Okay. After that, click OK. The result can be looked like this. Here it is the outputs of paired sample t-test. There are 3. The first is paired sample statistic. The second is paired sample correlation. And the third is paired sample test. For the first, paired sample statistic is descriptive statistic. There are pre-test and post-test, mean, respondent, and standard deviation. Meanwhile, paired sample correlation is correlation of the samples. And the last is paired sample test. The last point is important output because from it we can know there is the difference between the pre-test and post-test, or we can know there is the effect or not of using answer gallery learning strategies on learning outcomes in Japanese language subject. Okay. If the significant total is less than 0,05, it means null hypothesis is rejected and alternative hypothesis is accepted. Meanwhile, if the significant total, is greater than 0,05, it means the null hypothesis is accepted and alternative hypothesis is rejected. From the output, we can know the significant total is 0,002. It means the significant total is less than 0,05. Okay? The conclusion is the null hypothesis is rejected and the alternative hypothesis is accepted. As a result, there is the effect of using answer gallery learning strategy on learning outcomes in Japanese language subject in the 5th grade student of MI Alpha 3. That's all about the way of tutorial to input data to SPSS, whether it is correlation, independent sample t-test, and dependent sample t-test, or paired sample t-test. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.